Welcome to another 3-day project, and today we're taking a look at these 3 projects. So we have the Golden Strip, Abyssal Bloom, and Vortex Cluster. So I've tried in the past to work on nebulas, but I didn't ended up doing proper job for it. So as you can see, it was these 3 projects, and I just ended up doing some, I don't know, volume clusters, but I wanted to get back at it and try my best to come up with something better, and this is what I was able to create. So from the star system in the background to the nebula volume, as you can see, there's still a lot of improvement that I could add to the system, but for me these look great for now. I did try to follow a tutorial on it, and I'm going to show you right here. It's from Samuel Krog, and he has a very in-depth tutorial on how to create these kind of nebulas. And as you can see here, he has this process where he showcases how to create them. So it's a very in-depth tutorial, a lot of stuff that I couldn't really understand yet, a lot of custom nodes, a lot of setups. So yeah, if you want to learn more about the math behind the light, because this is lit without any light. So yeah, it's pretty amazing, and yeah, you can see how it kind of evolve through this process, and just it blows my mind that people are able to come up with stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just not that experience with math and the node system, but yeah, this is kind of my version, and let's take a look at the first project. All right, so as you can see here, we have a couple of things happening, right? We have in our world, so I'm going to close the nebula for now, the cube, so we can take a look at the star system. So inside of the world, as you can see here, I am in the shader editor, but I am in the world, not on the object. And this will affect our world. So as you can see, all around we have stars. And I'm going to go back to my camera, and this is the star system. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and I have this setup right here that I didn't end up using, but let's take a look at what this is. Yeah, so this adds some clouds, but I just used the stars. This is a setup that I used for the 3 projects, and the only thing that I did differently was play around with the scale, some of the factor, and maybe the colors as well. So we have 2 Voronoi noises inside of a map range. So as you can see, the from minimum is set to 005 on both of them. And from this, you can affect how bright the stars are going to be. So I put this into 10. And thanks to the scale of the Voronoi noise, you can change the size of the stars. So I wanted kind of small stars. And as you can see, I'm also using inside of the compositor a glare node set to simple stars. So that's how I was able to create this glare around some of them. And down below, we have again some noise texture with a color ramp. And this is fed inside of some color mix to be able to add some reds. So as you can see, this setup is mixed with the red color ramp to be able to have red spots, and the rest is mixed with the blue light to be able to have these nice big blue stars. And you can increase the intensity of these, can make them bigger, and yeah, you get the point. Right, so I'm gonna take off now the star so we can take a look at our nebula. And for the nebula, it's a simple shader. We have a volume scatter on our cube. The color of that volume is linked to a noise texture and a color ramp. And after that, we are controlling the density. So we have noise fed into a noise, another noise. We have a lot of noises here, and everything creates this nice cluster. So you can play around. I'm going to add my first noise. We have one point light in the middle, and I'm going to link my second cloud. We're going to have more details, my third noise, and the fourth one. And as you can see now, with the anisotropy set to 0, we have something different, which looks nice. But as you increase the anisotropy, we're going to end up with what we had on the original render. And of course, since we're working with volume, something that you need to have in mind is the volume step rate render. I set this to 0.1 and the max step. So of course I talked about that in a previous video, but if you want some faster render, you will need to set this down a little bit. And as you can see, even at 2, it looks pretty nice. This would have worked a little bit better, but yeah, I set this to 64, I think. But even 2 would work pretty well for this specific project. And I'm gonna put back my star system, and this is the kind of final composition. So for the second project, as you can see, we have exactly the same star system. I changed a little bit the W, the scale, and we do have a lot more stars and or nebula. So I'm going to turn off my stars, and that's the shader for this nebula. So as you can see, I did something different. So we have our noise, a map range to be able to control kind of the black and white value. And these are different. As you can see here, it goes to -500 and this to -10. And I changed the max also. And to be able to see that, I think you can just simply put this inside of the color, and you can see how this looks like. And the bottom one, yeah, we have a more dense cloud system. And I just, work a little bit with the power, 2 different sets of power that I added together. As you can see on the top layer, we have the power node, and on the bottom one, we have a multiply. So I have kind of some random numbers here, and I'm adding a power with a multiply, together, and then I am multiplying those 2 addition together. And I have another multiply node to be able to play around with the density. So yeah, I'm trying a couple of different stuff to see what works and what doesn't work. So as you can see, this time I added the cloud, which adds a very faded cloud here. And for the third project, as you can see, we only have the nebula, and this time I did have some issues with the stars in the background. It wasn't really working well. So what I did was to render the nebula as a PNG with alphas, and I render separately a star system from a previous project and just did a collage inside of Photoshop. So as you can see, these stars are applied on top of this. And again, we do have another setup. So there's a lot of things happening. Length, add power, multiply, another power inside of a scale. In the vector rotate, so as you can see, this kind of create this nice rotation, and you can control this from here. You can see how the nebula now rotates, and the power controls the center point. So if you increase this, the radius of the vortex is going to be bigger. Everything is fed to noise, textures, color ramp, and another color ramp with a multiply to control the density. And that's pretty much it for this series. Man, I love making nebulas, and I will do them again at some point. There's still some work to be done. As you can see here, we have some issues on the image render, but I just love the star system, right? That blends right with our nebula. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.